Take us to the moment where you got traded.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Were you bitter at first?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, like there was a lot of articles coming out because we were, I think, 1-6 at the time. Like, so
Articles of you being like on the trading block?
yeah,
Because was
yeah,
that your contract year? Were you coming up to the end of your contract
yeah.
that
Like
year?
I was in my 4th year at the time, and so like I kind of like understood, hey, either they're gonna want to keep me here or they're gonna want to get rid of me and try to get some draft capital. And so like I was having a really good year at the time with like not, I wasn't getting the ball a ton, but like being able to create separation, and when I did get the ball, I'd make the most of it, and yeah, I think the last game I had like 3 targets, 3 catches, and like 90 yards or something like that, because we played Miami, and it was like I understood that they were kind of starting to get to that point, and you have conversations, you see like what's going on, and you see the articles coming out, and you just have conversations with the guys like, oh, like what's going on, and everyone's like, you're not leaving, you're not going anywhere,
Right.
but they don't know because it's really solely up to the GM, and so at that point, I got a call on Tuesday and was like, hey, you're getting traded to the Vikings, and appreciate it and have a good one. I was like, all right, cool, sounds good.
Were you excited?
Yeah,
Bummed?
no, I was excited. It was a fresh start for me. Obviously, I knew like I was going to play for Coach O'Connell, who was a young coach, and like it was his first year, and he was 6-1 or something like that at the time, and like just a really up and coming coach, and then to be able to get around him, and it was the best thing for me. Like God put me in the right place. Like I love Minnesota. I love the team. And it really starts at the top with KO and the ownership. Like those guys are incredible, and it trickles down. Like, I mean, like I say, you have your PT, your head PT come down and like watch you do things, and they want you to like live a life outside of football and like love people, like that doesn't come around in this league very much. I mean, you guys know how cutthroat it is. And so, to have that and like to build relationships with those people in Minnesota and with the Vikings has been incredible. Like you don't find a bad human being at any point. Like whenever you turn a corner, there's somebody that and you can have a conversation with them for 30 minutes and just about life. It's not about anything. And if there's a bad person that's in the facility, it's found out really quick and they're gone. That's just what it is. And so they really only attract good people. They really preach love and like being a team, and like actually as much as a team as you can be in the NFL, like that it's hard because everybody's in and out the door, but they're incredible. Like it's really the best place for me, and I hope I'm there for a long time.
Take me through the timeline a little bit more of like how the whole trading thing started. Like when the rumor started, who was your first call? Because I know there's a lot of people probably listening to this that don't know what goes on behind closed doors in a locker room.
Yeah.
And a lot of times guys find out they're traded on the ticker. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they get a call from the GM. For you, when the rumor mill start, and then when did the actual transaction happen?
The rumor mill started, I think, the week before I got traded. Like that week going up to the trade deadline, like there was a bunch of articles that were coming out like, hey, do we trade Hockenson? Like, who could we trade? And then I just called Ben because, like I say, I had the best relationship with him at the time, and Dan was newish, I think, at the time. I think he might have been a year in. And so I called Ben and was just like, hey, like what are they thinking? He's like, dude, you don't really have anything to worry about. Like I love you. I think everybody around here has a lot of respect for you and what you're doing. You're a good player, and I don't think that's the thing, And so I was like, all right, cool, sounds good. And then we lost to Miami that week, and I was coming off of a game where against Seattle where I had like 176 yards for 2 touchdowns. Like I was coming off a game, and we lost the game, but I was playing well, and so I wasn't too worried about it. And then Tuesday came around, and I woke up and I was like, we'll see. Put my phone on the ringer, and I was in the facility for a few hours, just doing PT and recovery stuff. And then I left, go to a chiropractor, and got a call on my way to the chiropractor and was told I was traded. And then
Even up to that call, your worries about being traded were pretty much put to rest because of your conversation with Coach Johnson.
yeah, I mean, pretty much I still had a feeling. Obviously, you know, Neil kind of knows a lot of that stuff, and he like can hear stuff, and so I kind of, you know, still was like, okay, it's definitely a possibility.
Right.
But like for them to trade me within division, like I wasn't expecting that at all. But I mean, I'm like, again, I'm so blessed and able to be there. So I was excited when that happened, but yeah, I wasn't really necessarily expecting it, but it came, and it's been a blessing.
Is there a level of, you're with the Lions and they haven't won a division in like the last 30 years until this past year, and then you leave and now they're having that crazy success. Is there a part of you that's kind of like bitter towards that success?
I mean, you know, obviously they're still in division, so you like want to beat them and you want to win the division as much
But
as
you
you can.
personally,
But I mean, yeah, not crazy, but like, I mean, you see it and you're like, well, what's going on? You know, and you talk to people and they're just like, you know, like that I played with, and they're just like, it just started clicking. Like it was nothing.
Got rid of you and
had.
everything just came into place.
Yeah, no shit. Well, I mean, you think
good
about
culture
it, like,
guys in there.
Yeah.
the first, like I was only there for 6 games when Coach Ben got moved up to OC, like head OC. So like it was a learning curve for everybody. Like it's not, that's one of those places too, like the terminology is a lot different. Like Ben makes it complicated so it's easy, you know, like if that makes sense. Like, you know, each way is a different term. Like, so if you're on the right side, it'd be like, I don't know, it'd be one term, and if you're going to the left, same play, it'd be a different term. So like you can still do all that at the line, but it was a learning curve for a lot of guys because that's not what you do, you know. And they'd be code names, so it'd be like lobster and whatever, you know. And so that was a learning curve for everybody, and so everybody was trying to figure it out and get used to it. And there was a lot of hiccups throughout that first 7 games, and then we all started kind of getting it after like week 5 and starting to kind of figure it out. And then, you know, now they've gotten it to click, and Ben's, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Ben's like a huge part of that because he's just, you know, kind of like a mastermind in that kind of sense. And yeah, I mean, but I like bitterness. Like I really was happy for like the boys that I used to play with, you know, like obviously I was in it for a long time. It's not fun to like go out and play and not really have any success. And then, you know, for them to have some success, like I was happy for the guys that I played with. But you know, I mean, to obviously be in the same division, there's a little bit of that because
You guys want to be the team.
we want to be the team.
You want to be a
like,
team, and also like every player I ever played with, they got traded or left their team. Anytime we played that team, that was circled. That was like, hey boys, we gotta fucking get these guys.
Yeah, 100%.
If we can lose them all, but not this one.
Yeah.
This is the one we have to win.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know if you had any of those types of feelings.
100%. I mean, you always get a little juiced up when you play them. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, you just want to see them, and you know, at that point, like I said, when I got hurt, that was that game, and it was for really a playoff berth for us, and so that was a huge game, and you know, it could have gone either way at the time that I got injured, and then, you know, I get injured, and it's still a close game, but I think that was tough for all of us. So
When the rumor mill starts, did you and your girl ever play the game of like, hey, this place would be cool? Hey, what about this place?
well, we heard Miami. That was the biggest thing. So
Kind of got excited about that, didn't you?
It was. I mean, it's warm down there, and you know. But I mean, when you talk about Minnesota and their name kind of started get like, we heard like Neil heard their name, and I was like, that'd be nice because it's my family goes to every game. My parents go to every game. They haven't missed a game since I've been, you know, 13, and so like they were driving to Detroit all the time, and that's 8 hours there, not including Chicago traffic, you know, and then 8 hours back. And so it's only 4 hours from my hometown, Minnesota is. And so it's incredible for all of them and for me to be able to be around family. My mom's from Minnesota, so I have a bunch of extended family there. So if I ever need anything, you know, I'm able to call them. And I mean, there is such thing as Minnesota nice, you know, like people around the block around in your neighborhood, like they just love and they want to help out, you know, without being weird about it, you know, like you know how some people can be when, you know, you are who you are, and then they're like getting a little too close, you know,
Right.
but that's usually not a thing there. So it's been awesome. And like I said, the facilities are beautiful. They're brand new. There's a reason it gets, you know, top 2. Last year it was number 1 in the NFLPA score. Like they do it right in Minnesota, and I'm just super lucky to be there.